Hair transplant takes time to grow in and the wait can feel long. In this video, we're going to discuss the timeline for full growth of hair so that you can have a good idea of how long it will take. I'm Dr. Anthony Farole. I'm the Director of Philadelphia Hair Restoration.
I am Dr. Nam, Assistant Director at Philadelphia Hair Restoration.
If you want to know more about the hair transplantation, check out the other videos on our channel.
How does hair growth cycle work? So there are 4 stages. First, Anagen, second, Catagen, third, Telogen, and the last, Exogen. Basically, Anagen is the phase when the hair growth happens. This phase usually takes anywhere between 3 to 7 years, and this is the time hair grows strongly. But once the hair is large, the follicle resets kind of into new cycle, and the Anagen stage begins, where in first 3 to 5 months, the new hair grows. And from that time, it will go through the regular other phases, including the second stage, Catagen, and then third stage, Telogen, and the last stage, Exogen, and it will keep doing it over 3 to 7 years period of time. When will I see the final result from my hair transplantation? So you have to wait until minimum 9 to 11 months to see full hair growth. Like some people are so anxious to see if they're full hair grown even after a couple of months later, but we have to wait for hair follicles to go through the growth phase, which could take up to 9 to 11 months to see full hair growth.
In terms of being patient for the full end result of your hair transplantation, realize that no one, the surgeon nor the patient, has any control over the time that it takes for the hair to reach its final maturity. Dr. Nam just discussed the different phases of growth that hair must go through. We cannot change that whatsoever. It's a biological rule, if you will. If you think about planting flowers, I like this analogy. The follicle of the hair is equivalent in my mind to a tulip bulb. Those of us we have read about it, planting any kind of flowers, and especially bulbs. The bulb is equivalent to the follicle. You're putting the bulb into good soil, you're taking care of it, which is what you need to do at home. You're watering it, it gets sunshine. It's going to take X amount of time for that bulb to create a flower. The flower is your hair, and it's going through a very, very similar as a flower would grow from a bulb into a hair shaft. So be patient and the results will be there.
What factors affect hair growth after hair transplantation? I guess age does matter. Obviously, if you're younger, the metabolism is much faster, so you have more cell production to stimulate faster hair growth. So that's one of the factors that could actually affect how fast the result can be seen. And also post-op care instruction, you need to follow instruction very carefully, because if you lose during post-op care, if you lose because any follicle is large, we're not going to see any good results from it. Of course, good hygiene and no smoking, no drinking will help. And you also want to make sure that you keep your graft area clean.
So now it's time to address some of your common concerns and questions. So why does my hair look thin after a hair transplant? The answer to this is that, again, the follicles have been recently transplanted and they will obtain their full thickness to close to about a year afterward. Will the transplanted hair fall out permanently? The answer is no. Once the follicles have embedded themselves, you can be sure that the permanence of the hair transplantation will be there. So what you're really losing early on, again, as we discussed in an earlier video, is you're not losing the follicle. There's that shock loss initially of some of the hair shafts, but that's going to grow back and you're going to have a full head of hair without worry of loss long term. Can hair transplants fail? The answer is they can fail, but if they're going to fail, they're going to fail mostly because of the care that you have not taken to your hair transplantation site afterwards, such as picking at the scab, such as having your nutrition, your health, alcohol consumption, really abusing the graft, if you will, using hair techniques of washing that are too rough until the follicles have settled in. So they don't fail, they work. Will my hair transplant change color? Sometimes we get a question regarding the hair color afterwards. So the answer to that is the hair color that's transplanted from one part of your scalp to the other is going to maintain the same color as it came from. And just as the aging process in many individuals will create the hair to become gray, hair transplantation will age with you. And if you're going to have a tendency toward grayness, it's going to be in the transplanted sites as well as your donor site. You can then take action if you don't like gray and color your hair just the way you would color your hair before the transplantation. So when should I contact my doctor if I'm concerned concerned about slow hair growth. As we said earlier, the hair growth process must go through those cycles, those growth cycles we talked about before, the Anagen, Catagen, Telogen, and Exogen. So people will go through those cycles similarly and reach at the final result approximately 12 months, if we can use that as a landmark. But if you're a little bit ahead of that, in that you see a lot of growth, let's say at 9 months, that you feel like you have a full head of hair, that's your hair cycle may be a little bit faster than someone else. All humans go through the same cycle. And if you have a concern, give us a call and we will really reassure you that you're on target for normal hair result of your hair transplant. So just remember about the hair growth cycle that we discussed earlier, and perhaps if you relate to that and reflect back on that cycle, you must go through those cycles to your end result. So be patient and everything will work out the way it should.